Today we're going to talk about Ken Ham's big gigantic idol.
And the Lord said, Doth thou not have idols? Fill thine churches with them, and forget the poor.
Yeah, this idol we're talking about is the $73 million they're going to use to create a gigantic ark.
Which is a 3-part park they're going to build. And that's just stage 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. To do so, he's fleeced the poor and used a debate he had with Bill Nye to do so.
Yes. He's just used the whole thing with the debate with Bill Nye. I don't know if you've heard of it. Go look it up. And I think this was his plan from the beginning. We've said this before the debate and everything, that he's probably going to use it to fund the Creationist Museum. And, well, it looks like he's done that. And he's calling it manna from the sky.
Matthew 19:21. Well, Matthew 19:20. The young man said unto him, All these things have I kept from my youth up. What lack I yet? Jesus said unto him, If thou wilt be perfect, go and sell that thou hast, and give to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in heaven, and come and follow me. $73 million versus sell everything. That's what Jesus said. It's King James Bible.
Yes. You're not supposed to have wealth when you're following God. And pretty sure Ken Ham is a pretty rich guy.
Well, he's got the Genesis Creationist Museum, and now he's got the Ark he's building.
And they're selling the videos for the debate.
You know what I'd like to see out of that Ark? I'd like to see him float it.
Yes, I would love to see him try to float that Ark. Then I'd be impressed.
Just saying. I'd like to see it float. I think it's fair. $73 million, it should float, right?
Yes.
It is a boat.
Mm-hmm. With one window. And I don't think they're building it with one window.
I don't know, we'll see.
We'll see.
Although his models of boats, you can find them on the internet, and they always have more windows.
Yes. But in the Bible, it specifically states one window.
Uh-huh.
So he's taking creative license, whatever the case.
Just a smidge of creative license.
Yes.
And the boat probably won't float.
No kidding. It won't float. Especially with that many animals. If there's supposed to be that many animals.
It'd be interesting to see him try to load it with that many animals and float it.
Yeah.
I want to see that.
Yeah. I'd love to see that too.
He can take those based roots for his creationist orchard instead of the tree of life and...
Oh, and I'd love to see him float it for a year. Just take it out of the ocean for a year. No contact with humans. Just stay out there for a year. and all he's got to survive is whatever's on that ark.
Well, he'll have the animals to eat.
Yeah, but what are the animals going to eat?
Each other.
What about the herbivores?
I don't understand your question.
The herbivores have to have something to eat as well.
Can't they eat the other herbivores? They like vegetables.
I've never seen an herbivore eat an
animal?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's got to have one of each kind.
He has to have 2 of each kind.
Oh, 2 of each kind, sorry.
A male and female of each kind, whatever a kind is.
Oh, and he's got to have 7 of every clean kind. But we won't worry about that.
Well, you know.
Because most Christians ignore that part.
It's not that important, is it? I mean, it's only just in the book.
Yeah. It's very important. It's in the book. I thought the book was supposed to be important.
Well, the book is, of course, important. It's how we know what God wants.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. It's how we know we're supposed to crush the poor and weak of spirit.
Does it say that anywhere?
Why does everybody do it if it doesn't?
I don't know. Why do people build $73 million idols?
Well,
Sure, it's not an image of God, but it's still an idol, in my opinion, because it's building something in honor of your God. Or his
his
God.
ways are always grievous, the judgments are fair, above, out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. Psalm 10, verse 5. I somehow don't think that refers to God.
It doesn't refer to God?
Psalm 10, first psalm of the wicked.
Mm-hmm.
Why standest thou afar off, O Lord? Why hidest thou thyself in times of trouble? The wickedness pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in devices that they have imagined. Okay, so we can send them in the ark.
Yes.
Would that be fair?
Yes.
For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blesseth the covetous, whom the Lord abhorreth. I don't know, he's got a lot of money.
Yes.
Man can either serve mammon or God.
Yeah. It says that in the Bible. You can only serve money or God.
The wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after God. God is not in all his thoughts. His ways are always grievous, the judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. Does that sound familiar in any way? I don't know, he sounds like he's a pretty blowhard about a lot of things.
Yes.
He hath said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity.
Yeah, Ken Ham doesn't want to be moved.
Well,
He said he doesn't want to be moved from his position.
he said nothing could change his position.
Right, nothing. Look up the debate. He said nothing can change his position.
His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. He sitteth in the lurking places of the village. In the secret places doth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor. He lieth in wait secretly, as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor, when he draweth him into his net. He croucheth and humbleth himself, that the poor may fall by his strong ones. He hath said in his heart, God hath forgotten, he hideth his face, he will never see it.
Sounds a bit like Ken Ham to me.
Well, you know, it's said that if you argue with a creationist, it's lose-lose, because if you don't argue with them, they still manage to publicize it to win, and if you do, they manage to publicize it to get money.
Yes, and he's publicized it to get money.
Yes.
And he says it's a miracle. How is that a miracle when you're selling your stuff?
Well, that's a good question.
When you're selling
Maybe the economy is miraculous.
And why does he need $73 million for his park when he could use that to help other Christians in need?
Fund schools, get roads built, feed people, give them water.
Mm-hmm. Help them get shelter. You know, all that good stuff. I'm for all that good stuff. If you can give people shelter, food, place to stay. Yeah. I think there needs to be more caring amongst them.
But this way they can learn about the Noah myth.
Yeah.
Totally unbiased.
Yeah. Now explain to me about the kangaroos.
What about the kangaroos?
I'm just remembering this one video by somebody else who they were talking about the kangaroos. How in the world did the kangaroos get to Australia? And how in the world aren't they mentioned in the Bible? I mean, a creature like the kangaroos should be at least mentioned in the Bible because it's still unlike a lot of other creatures. Well, all the creatures that are not part of Australia.
I don't know. It sounds pretty Australian to me. I'm just saying, you know.
Yeah.
You're on about these things being not Australian, but I don't know. I think they're pretty Australian.
Oh, we have a big video about the Ark anyway, so go check that out too.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to say?
Teach the controversy.
Teach the controversy?
Teach the controversy.
Teach the controversy.